just telling you what I saw from a Patriots perspective. It's Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes combined is Drake. I'm telling you, the ability to make plays off script, roll out, flick it on the money, and it's a cannon. Um, in the bucket to Kayshawn Booty, drop, drop in the bucket. The flick in the tight. The window doesn't get tighter than that with Demario Douglas. I'm sorry, there's like two edges on him on Drake. There's a corner in Douglas's face. Drake through four branches and right through the crack of the screen gets it in there. Right into Demario Douglas' hands. You get him the rock, he's gonna go. Kayshawn Booty and Demario Douglas become real players when Drake is on the field. Hunter Henry, that was just a good read. They schemed it up perfectly. It's play action. Hunter Henry rolls out. He's wide open. They thought Henry was going to be blocking. He wasn't. He was a receiver in this play. Boom. Easy. Drake had some jitters. All right. 22 years old. This kid is a pup. All right. But you see the ability, and you want to give him the reps to mature in the league, to break through the jitters that he had. He had the first drive was bad. He threw a pick. It was bad. He took a few bad sacks, fumbled one. It was bad. Um, but he gets rid of the ball quick and he makes dynamite throws. This guy is dynamite. Um, and and that's why I'm telling you, like, the Pats are back. I look, they gave up 41 points. They lost that game by 20 points. All right. And I understand that's not great. And Drake made some minus plays in that game. But whatever everyone like takes out of context the team they played. The Houston Texans, the team that's challenging the Chiefs and the Ravens in the AFC, the team that's competing for a championship game berth, competing to make the Super Bowl. The the Texans lost in the second round. Dude, they lost to the Ravens. Dude, they just got better. CJ Stroud was a rookie last year. Stroud is back. Collins is back. Tank Dell. They bring in Steph Diggs. They get the running back out of Cincinnati. Their offense is insane. They also have a top 5 defense in the NFL. All right? That team is loaded. That team is absolutely loaded, and you have Drake May behind Badarian Lowe and freaking insert name, dude. It's a rotating door. I don't even think Lowe played that week. Um, you've got like Demontre Jacobs and City So isn't even like on the line on the offensive line anymore. Like that line is not good. It's a bad line. That's probably the worst offensive line in the NFL. Like they're scraping by with backups from like Denver's summer or preseason. Denver's preseason offensive linemen are starting for the New England Patriots in week 5. And Drake May puts up 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns his first game going up against like one of the top defenses in the NFL, all right? So that's why you got to like I don't know. People are being ridiculous about this stuff. I think the Pats are going to play the worst secondary, the worst pass defense in the NFL this week in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Drake is going to show up. Drake May has a big one coming today because both teams are looking at this game as a must win. I'm sorry, this is like your last breath at a season. The Jacksonville Jaguars have been in London, Europe or whatever, and they're quitting on their coach right now on Peterson. The Patriots like Mayo, all right? It has knock on their way, and I think a big reason they like Mayo is he's a lot friendlier than Belichick, but he he's he needs to hold them accountable so he can get the best out of them. Mayo has been coaching like he has no skin in the game lately. I mean, the last like few weeks here. And I think now he's starting to feel the pressure of being a head coach in the NFL. Like this job is not promised. The greatest coach of all time got kicked to the curb off a 4-13 year. So what's going to happen to you if you put up another 4-13 performance? Are we going to put it all on Belichick for another year, or because I mean, you guys got to figure out how to start winning some games. I'm telling you, this team's going to play with a lot of urgency this week. The defense needs to be a lot better. All right. I know the defense had a tough assignment last week, um, for Houston, of course. I mean, the running game, the passing game, it's all phenomenal. Um, but the defense needs to be locked in. Gonzalez needs to be the cover corner that they drafted in the first round. Duggar has to not blow assignments like back in the Seattle game. Um, they need to stop the run, dude. They got run on last week. It was bad. It was like this defense should be able to stop that. Even with Jawan Bentley hurt, they shouldn't give up the runs that they did last week. I know Jawan Bentley's hurt, so but still, like Godshaw, Uche, these linebackers got to figure it out, man. You got to stop the run. Uche, you can't just be all about the quarterback. I'm sorry. You got the money. It's time to adapt, grow as a legit linebacker. Okay. Um, Tavai, like these guys, we need to stop. We need to set the tone defensively that we're gonna shut down Jacksonville. Give our quarterback a chance. This kid's a playmaker. This kid is crazy good. Flick of the wrist, it's going for 50 yards. Um, whether it's in Demario Douglas's hands, it's dropping the bucket to Kayshon Boutte, it's going to Hunter Henry. Um, like these guys become real players. These guys become NFL players. Demario Douglas is almost like a Julian Edelman type slippery wide receiver. He gets the separation over the middle, you hit him and he goes in stride. Kayshon Boutte, I want to see it again this week, but if he can develop into an over the top kind of guy, that's big time. If they can figure it out, if this core can figure it out and Drake May can elevate these guys, it's huge. I want nothing to do with the number one pick. Nothing to do with it. If we have the number one pick, that means the 4-13 team that we were last year got worse. That would break this fan base. Break it. We need to be competitive. We need to have a football season. We need to have a year. So that starts this week. I think really they can turn it around this week. You get a win under your belt, start feeling good about yourself, start getting some guys back from injury, like Stevenson. Um, maybe you can put together a little bit of a season. Try to like Detroit when they sucked, and I know they sucked for a long time, but at the end there when they were still sucking a little bit with Campbell, they ended the season on a high note. They won like 5 games in a row, that or 5 of their last 6 or something. So, and then they built that. They started figuring out how to win games, and then they built that into a legit program. And the Detroit Lions are a legit program, and they're competing in the NFC. So if we follow that model, we try to end. We try to. I know we're not even like halfway through the season, but like if we can turn around this rough start, because it was a tough schedule too in the beginning. Like it was tough, man. Houston Jets are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They're not really, but they pummeled you that night. Um, the Seahawks, they're like a legit team in the NFC. Yeah, no, the Pats had a tough stretch of it, but right now, like it gets a little easier here. You build some confidence in Drake May and that wide receiver group. Try to build some confidence in the offensive line. Like the offensive line has sucked, and everyone's been burying them the whole year. If they can like start putting up some good showings here, maybe they can put up a little bit of protection for Drake. I mean, all for nothing, they played like a top unit defensively in the league in the Texans. So I'm hopeful for London. Hopeful. See how it goes.